Looking for a tarot deck that's unlike anything else on your shelf? Let's flip through Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights and see what makes it so unique. Hi, I'm Elwyn, and today we're exploring the new mass market version of Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights, a surreal, striking collage deck that's filled with wit, unexpected symbolism, and more narwhals and fungi than you'd ever imagine in a tarot deck. If you'd like to grab the deck or book a personal reading with me, you'll find all the links down in the description. This deck was originally an indie deck that got picked up mass market by Red Feather. Huge thanks to Red Feather for sending me this copy to share with you. So the deck comes in this beautiful box. I love the image on the front, and it is a hard box, a magnetic flip open, and it has some spot gloss details, as you can see here. And it is quite large, as you can tell by the size of my hands compared to the box. So this feels like a beefy deck for sure. Here's the sides. Here's the back also with some spot gloss details. And it says, Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights is an incandescent medley of collaged images drawn from Western culture and beyond. Comprising 80 cards, Boadicea's Tarot draws on the Rider-Waite-Smith imagery while providing a fresh visual interpretation using assembled fine art from antiquity through the Golden Age, spiced with razor-sharp wit and wisdom. With minor suits dubbed Combustion, Tentacles, Aether, and Fungi, this gloriously mischievous deck features squid, octopi, mushrooms, and, not sure how to say this, nudibranchia, and narwhals in starring roles. 2 additional cards contribute to this quirky deck's charm: the Perspicacious Platypus and Boadicea the Queen. With a 216-page comprehensive color guidebook, Boadicea's Tarot is brimming with in-depth tarot insight, including expert insight on queries, spreads, and more. It's a delight for art lovers and sophisticated spiritual seekers who enjoy humor and deplore sanctimony. Let's see what the inside looks like. Okay, beautiful inside. Flips open here with a quote from William Shakespeare over on the side. Nice tentacle. Love this mapping look. And we have that big guidebook that they mentioned with a ribbon to help you get it out. So very nice. Here is this big book, which also has spot gloss details. And we'll take a peek at that as well. So I'm going to set that to the side. And then we have the cards here. I love this blue, this color is on the inside. So here we have the beautiful backs of the cards. I'll take this off. And we can see that it has gilding, so very nice. And the cards are a large size. And here is the underside of the box. So let's check out this guidebook. Here we have the guidebook, nice and big. We have color on the inside, some acknowledgments, and then we have the contents. So Tarot Beginnings, Boadicea the Queen, Why the Garden of Earthly Delights. Then it goes over the Major Arcana, the Minor Arcana, Divination, Reading Tarot, Tarot spreads, and we have quite a few spreads here, so that is wonderful. And then finally, take off the training wheels and go, and an appendix and about the authors. So I want to take a look at an example. I definitely want to read that of, let's see, of a card. So here we have a Major Arcana. So we have a full color picture here. Wonderful. And then right up here, interpretation, we have an upright and a reversed, and then it breaks down the symbolism. So I love that. This is a nice size write-up for sure. Let's take a look at the minors. So here, well, this is a court card. Well, we'll look at the court card. We have the full color picture here. So similar thing, upright, reversed, interpretation, and the symbolism. Let's see. Okay, and similar treatment for the minor. Slightly less writing on here, but still plenty to work with. And then there's some of those spreads at the back, and the author and artist, and the back of the guidebook. Very nice. Definitely looking forward to getting into that one. So now let's take a look at the cards themselves. We already saw that these have edging, gold gilding on it. And here are the beautiful backs. And they are not reversible. I mean, they're kind of reversible, but you can see a difference here and here. So it depends on if that matters to you or not. And as I mentioned before, these are quite large. Let me show you a comparison. So here is a standard size tarot right here. So as you can see, they are much wider and a little bit longer. These appear to be kind of a semi-gloss finish. They're not glossy, they're not sticky, but they're not purely matte. So kind of right in between, which is nice. It definitely makes it so these colors pop. It doesn't absorb the light too much, but it doesn't shine too much. And I don't believe these will stick at all because it's not a sticky gloss to it. Now, as far as thickness, these aren't too thin, but they aren't too thick. I don't know what the exact number is, but this is like a medium thickness to me. So that'll work. That'll be good, especially with this large size. If they were too thick, they might be harder to handle, would be my guess. So that's a look at the cardstock. Now let's enjoy the lush, eccentric, and mischievous world of Boadicea's Tarot of Earthly Delights. Did you come across a card that was your favorite in this deck? I'd love to know which one stood out to you. Okay, so I definitely want to see what this card is all about. So I'm going to read it instead of selecting a card for us today because I want to see this one. So we have some writing up at the top and it says, "A platypus regards the reflection on a large ornate gilt-framed mirror. The mirror leans against a wall covered with indigo wallpaper representing outer space. It is sprinkled with thousands of tiny stars. Left of the mirror hang 3 framed portraits, a duck, a beaver, and a photograph of Pamela Coleman Smith. The vision in the mirror is a bold contrast to the subdued room decor. Our platypus happily regards their double in the looking glass from a lush garden. Exuberant blossoms burst from the beds, blanketing the greenery with impressionistic hues. In the near distance, a sassy Venus statue gazes towards the platypus across a lily pond. The platypus and their reflection smile proudly at each other. A shaft of rainbow light falls from beyond the mirror, passing through the mirror's crowning ornament of the all-seeing eye, and angles through the garden to bathe the platypus in all colors of love." Interpretation. Upright, this platypus, representing the reader or querent, has achieved a very personal enlightenment. Perhaps through the study of tarot, perhaps through life experience. They have learned to know themselves and love themselves as they are, as they have been, and as they will be. They have come to accept themselves for both their inner shadows and their inner light. This understanding brings joy and peace. Self-acceptance allows them to accept others with forgiveness and affection. We are all multifaceted, inspiring, exasperating, lovable, all too mortal beings. Reversed. Now the platypus is upended, finding themselves in a not dissimilar predicament as the hanged man, experiencing an inner existential crisis. The platypus is working through where to go with themselves, what to embrace and what to leave behind. Instead of knowing and loving themselves, they are still looking to others for guidance as they weigh through their sense of self. Yet revelation is imminent. They are poised to plunge into a rainbow pool, their physical and spiritual selves finally in harmony. This card in reversal advises deep soul searching. Be realistic and work to love yourself as you are in all your messy human glory. Know yourself and love yourself. And remember, fully adult spiritual beings know how to behave themselves for best results. And then it breaks down each and every symbol in the card. So something that I find very unique about this deck is the way it blends intelligence with humor and also with visual opulence. It feels both playful and profound at the same time, and I really enjoy that. I think readings with this deck can be both cheeky and enjoyable, but still deep. Sometimes a cheeky deck is a great way to really tell you the truth of something or get to the point of something that can be quite deep. I could also imagine using this for ancestor readings because I know some of mine can have a great sense of humor. So I'd be curious to see how this deck works out for that. Now I'd love to know, this is a collage style deck, although to me it feels different than other collage style decks. So I'm curious, are you interested in collage decks? And if you aren't normally, are you interested in this one? Maybe it feels different to you as well. I know there's a real divide between people either seem to love them or really not like them, and then sometimes people change their minds and end up really loving them. I personally do enjoy collage style decks, if they're done well, that is. So I'd love to hear your perspectives in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, I'd be so grateful if you give it a like, and if you're not subscribed yet, if you want to subscribe. It helps more tarot lovers discover the channel, and it lets me keep creating more reviews for you. And if you'd like more deck inspiration, check out one of the videos linked right here on the screen. Thanks so much for watching, and until next time, may your cards be wild, wise, and wonderfully weird.